it's Amanda here from Lolli Lulu Crafts, and today we are going to be making a Christmas card. Now it kind of seems crazy sitting in this heat. I mean, it's nearly 10 o'clock at night here and it's still boiling hot, and so it seems kind of strange doing Christmas cards at this time of year, but you need to start early if you've got lots of cards to do, because otherwise it just becomes almost unpleasant. It becomes a chore if you're not careful. So I thought it would be fun for us to start doing some videos and posts on some Christmas ideas and cards, so that if you want to start early as well, then I hopefully might give you some inspiration. Now this particular card is going to be using Christmas Cuties set from Hunkydory, and I've picked out these gorgeous little teddy bear here. We're posting his card into the snowy letterbox, and we've got the matching cardstock, and I've picked out some red adorable scoreable and some white adorable scoreable, plus some lovely holographic shimmer mirror card and the wonderful snowflake acetate as well. And this card completely comes from inspiration from the Hunkydory magazine that went with this kit. They did a special, well, there was a whole set of Christmas stuff and they did a magazine to go with it, and I have completely taken this idea from there because I just thought it was so cute and I wanted to share it with you, so I hope you enjoy. Okay, so I've cut out my base card and the mats and layers to go with it, so let me just run through exactly what we've got here. So I've got white adorable scoreable. If you have a 6x6 card base, then fabulous, you can do that. I didn't, so I've had to make one, and all I'm going to do is this is A4, which I've cut 6 inches across. I've scored at the 6-inch mark and the 3-inch mark and folded, and that left me just a tiny bit short. So all I'm going to do is I've got another mat of white that I cut from another sheet in, and I've made that 6x6, so that will just sit down onto here to make my card base the right size. So as I said, if you've got a 6x6 card base, then you don't need to do this layer here, but if you haven't, then do your 6x6 card base. Then I've got the holographic card, that's 1/8 of an inch down from there. Then I took the red cardstock, and that's 1/8 of an inch down, so that becomes 5 3/4, and then the pattern cardstock, and that was 1/8 down from our 5 3/4. Then on the front here for our easel part, I've created the 6x6 again, and that's going to stick to the front here like that. So that's 6x6, 1/8 down, 1/8 down, so 5 3/4 that gets to, and then 1/8 down. And so there was enough of this was cut from the one patterned card sheet, and there was plenty in there to get those two pieces, because I'd gone down. If I was trying to, on the A4, if I was trying to cut 6x6, I wouldn't have got that, but because I did so many layers, those two were able to squeeze out of that one sheet, which was great. So we've got that. So let's start sticking some of these together, and I'm literally just going to mat these together using this lovely cosmic shimmer, and it's nice and strong for this, but it also gives us just a little bit of movement time if we should need it. Which I did need it, because I completely put it in the wrong place. There we go. And when you've got such fine margins, I think sometimes it is easier to make sure you have that extra bit of time. And then we're going to mat that on, etc. So I'll come back to you when those are all matted up. Okay, so for that last layer, because there's so much cardstock on there, I used my pin flare glue gel, so that stuck that down nice and firmly on there. And then what I want to do is put some, while that's drying, take advantage of the time that it's got to sit there, and put some ice stickles on it, which is the crystal ice, and just add a bit of shimmer to these snowflakes. And I'm trying to actually hit the little snowflakes, but that's not really working. Just to add that little bit of sparkle, and then a little bit of glitter on top of the snow there, and obviously on the snow down by his feet, etc. Just to make it look pretty. I'll put a bit more down there. There we go. So let me just move that lightly so you can see, hopefully you can see the sparkle. Doesn't that look pretty? Isn't he cute? He's so cute. Okay, so I'm going to put that to one side to let that dry, and then I'm going to put together the other mats which are on. Okay, so that's the final layer, and I do need to remember that the pale part is the bottom of the card. I don't know if you're catching that in this light, but there's like a shading down and the paler part is the bottom, so I just need to remember that when I'm working, because I think it'd be really easy to get that twisted. So if I forget, will you shout at me, okay? Thank you. Okay, so that's our mat done. So now what I want to do is layer up my little topper here, but what I'm wanting to do is slightly sort of taking the card that they did in the magazine example and just taking it just that little bit further. They just used the acetate just as a decorative window over the top of this. I want to actually try and make it into a shape. Okay, so that's my frame tidied up and my little topper. So I'm going to pop this in the middle now. Now I don't want it popped up or anything, so I'm going to stick it down nice and flat, and I want it central. So I'm just going to use my Cosmic Shimmer glue. Lovely. Isn't that pretty? Isn't it such a lovely card? I really love the blue with the red actually. Okay, so I'm going to take my little frame here, and I need to take my snowflake acetate, make sure it's the right way round. You can feel which way round is the right way, because you'll feel the little the little bubbles are on the surface, so it's nice and simple to find. And then we're going to pop this over there, and okay, and then I need to take my foam tape and I need to make sure that I create a really nice bond so there's no gaps, because this is going to be a shaker card. And I may well have to do a second row here because it's quite a thin tape, so I'm thinking that a second row might be useful just to give it a bit more height. There we go. So when you're going to do a second row, you want to really ideally peel the tape off of the first row so that the second row sticks nicely, that's not going to create a barrier. So I'm going to peel all this off, and then I'm going to do my second row, and then I'll come back to you when that's done. Okay, so that's 2 layers of the tape. Now if you had thicker tape, then you'd only need to do 1 layer. So that's all ready to go. Now what you want to do is just make sure your acetate is nice and clean inside, because you don't want to have it all smeary from your fingerprints, so give that a little polish up, and on the other side as well, because once it's down it will be hard to change anything about it. And make sure there's no dog hairs. And then the other thing you want to do is get an anti-static bag and just lightly dust it, because otherwise your fingerprints and stuff create static, and then your glitter and stuff inside will start to stick. So it's quite dusty there. Then once you've dusted it off, just give it again without touching with your fingers, just dust it off with a little dry cloth. Okay, so now I've taken the backing tape off the foam, and that's ready to go. Now normally when making a shaker card you would put your shakery bits embellishments in here, then you would add your card to the front, because obviously it's easier to do that. However, because of the way I want to do the card here, I need to see what I'm doing, so I'm going to be adding my embellishments into the centre of my card. And I've got for my embellishments these great diamond sparkles, Frosty the Snowman, little shapes from Hunkydory. Now if I just show you close up what these look like without tipping it everywhere. Oh gosh, because it's got all bits of glitter in it as well. So let's just move the card out of the way a minute. So what we've got is lots of little diamond sparkles, snowflakes, and then, if I can get it, and then a cute little snowmen as well. So you've got 3 things in here. You can see the sparkle all over my finger, and it's just really sweet. So as I said, we're going to take my card here and we're just going to tip a few little snowmen and snowflakes, etc., into the middle. I don't want to go mad because otherwise it's just going to look too busy. You're not going to see the actual picture. And then I'm just going to try and shake out some of the glitter, and I can do that because it's got a little holes in the top which stop the little elements coming out, but it allows the glittery parts to come out. Okay, I think that'll be okay. Hopefully it's not too many. Okay, so now I'm going to pick up my topper here and I'm going to position that so that it's offset, and hopefully just twist that around, and then I'm just going to line it up the top and the sides. And once you're happy that it's lined up, then just gently press it down, because if it pings, all your sparkle is going to go everywhere. And then you just want to make sure, particularly around these ends, because obviously they're slightly hanging off, that it is really stuck. There we go. And there we have the shaker. Isn't that cute? I just think that's so pretty. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is just pop that to one side for the minute, because once this goes on, I'm going to really need to put it on with glue gel, so it needs to be really the last thing I'm going to do so that it can not be in my way. So the next thing I need to do now is create my little stopper, and I've got this cute little sentiment from that same sheet. And I thought that would just be really sweet just to be popped down there. It means that there won't be anything going over our little bird, and it will hold back our card when we put it up as an easel. So I think that's going to work really well. So I'm going to take my glue gel in this case, because I want it to go up nice and high. But just before I stick my topper down, I am going to put the red gems on the topper, and I'll do the rest of the red gems that I want at the same time. And the reason I'm doing it on that first is because once I put it down, it's, unless I'm patient and wait until the glue gel's dry, I'll have to finish the card the next day by putting those gems on last thing. So I'm going to do it now where I don't have to worry about pressing onto the little topper. So let's just get that. And I've got these sweet little teeny weeny ones here, which act as really cute little berries. Yeah, and then just pushing that down. I think that looks really pretty. So then I'm going to pop that to one side. We've got some more little berries just down here, so I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to use slightly bigger ones, just as one size up. There we go. Isn't that pretty? I think that looks really effective. And then the last thing I want with regard to gems is just on this little top here, just in the top corner. This is the shaker card. I just want to add 3 of these lovely gems. So that's those there, and I think that looks really nice, and I think that blue and the red together looks so pretty. I'm really pleased with that. Okay, so now back to our stopper and little baby topper. I'm going to take that, I'm going to put a nice 2 big blobs of glue gel on it. I might even do 3, or we might just do 1 big blob like that. So I want it to be nice and tall, which I think you can say there's plenty of glue gel on there. Possibly even for me that was a little on the heavy side. Okay, and then I want to position that just about there. And then what will happen is we'll pop that like that to hold that. But I won't leave it there because I don't want glue gel. Well, actually I do want glue gel on that, but I'm next going to put my glue gel onto the front here and stick this card. Oh, I don't want it height, I want it smooth. I think he was trying to build it up then. I just want to put the plenty of glue gel on, but not in thickness, just as a smooth layer. Because it's very heavy on the front there, so I want to be sure that it's going to stay stuck. Making sure it's all the right way up. And I'm going to then just position that just gently position that. There we go. And I'm just going to leave it sat flat like that overnight, just to set, all those pieces will set still, and we'll get a finished look. But before we do that final kind of leaving it, we're going to just add a little stickles to this card, the top piece of the card here, just to get that bit of sparkle on our snow up here. Okay, so there's that card finished. I think that looks so pretty. I'm really pleased with that. I love the way it's looking. I know it's a little bit difficult to show you an easel card, especially one that's wet, on camera, because whichever angle we go, it always looks a bit strange because you can't get the right sort of look. You can't see all of it. But I think you'll agree it looks really nice. I will post some photos on my blog post that corresponds with this video, so you'll be able to see much better pictures of it up close and all the different angles, so you'll be able to get a really good look at it on there. And otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I'm really pleased with this and how it turned out, so thank you Hunkydory for the inspiration. And then I just added to it by making it into a shaker card, and I think that really gave it a little bit of something extra, and I'm really pleased with the finished look, so I hope you like it too. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. And don't forget, pop over to my blog and look at the pictures. Alright, thanks for watching. Bye.